But I'm just saying that this is only the beginning. And it's the same for startups. It's been like the Startup India program has been in force for about 4 or 5 years. I know that. And I also know that people say that it's becoming saturated, and like they talk about Flipkart and all of these like large Indian startups that made it. Yeah. And some people say that it's a bubble and stuff like that. But from my perspective, you still have to consider the fact that this is a country with 1.34 billion people. You got me dancing in your store, burning everything we know, dressing up as firefighters. So, around 2 or 3 weeks ago, we went to Bhubaneswar, and also we went to meet a couple of developers that we were looking to hire and start our own Bhubaneswar branch. And we went to meet them. But apparently they were located in this incubator in KIT, which is KIIT. Like, we visited the incubator and we saw, like, it was actually quite amazing, because I went there with no prior expectations. We're headed now to find the second best developer that we found in India. He's agreed to come on board our team.
Final iteration of the 3D printer that they built. Fortunately, Indian markets were not like that friendly.
And it works.
Yes, absolutely.
It works.
Yeah, I think we have a couple of like demo items. That's like one of the like 3D printed thingy that we printed. Like, so it's a wheel basically. Like you already said, like we kind of have a very geeky group, so we are also into building drones. This is like a racing drone. This is essentially an assembly, but we also built a lot of things from scratch. Like you see, we have a heli over here. We wanted this to be an autonomous video filming vehicle, kind of like for the small rooms in the vicinity. So you might have seen there is a drone called Parrot Spark, which basically moves around with the hand gestures. So we wanted to build that. We kind of have this project like half built yet. We don't have more time to build it, but that's what we come from. Our backgrounds are, we used to conduct aerial robotics workshops, and from that point forward, we moved to software development, and then after that, 3D printers. We also built a prosthetic limb, which is not here, unfortunately, but yeah.
So basically, like, startups here are actually, the problem is, like, the technology is more like, it's more forward thinking than the current market here. That's the biggest problem.
Exactly.
Here. Yeah.
And because of that, the market segment is not available, and they don't have access to the foreign countries or probably markets where there is more adoption of the technology. And basically that's kind of like a bottleneck most of the hardware startups and software startups as well.
I guess that's like the difference in information. Like, if a lot of VCs and investors saw what a lot of these startups were capable of,
the potential they have.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I believe very strongly that they would be interested.
You are happy to invest in all of them?
Yeah. I mean, not all of them. You build all of this?
Yes.
It's like really impressive.
Right now we are working on the recommendation platform. Like, now you have the data, and
so now you have the hardware, and now you're working on the software.
Software part, right? Exactly.
Wow, it's like you're putting in all the latest technologies.
Yeah. Right. So there are soil testing labs, and they use very expensive spectrophotometers only to test soil. But it takes a lot of time, and it's not useful actually, because India is a very big country, and if you cannot test in a centralized lab hundreds of kilometers away some kind of spectrometer. So this spectrometer, what it does is you can take this to the field and prepare a soil sample, and you can test it when it's on field, and you can know the results, like what are the values of your nutrients and your organic carbons and all. So then you can recommend directly to the farmer, you should do these kind of things and all, so which will be very helpful for them.
And that very recently they started like the US like pitching like demo days and like incubator batch programs and stuff like that. They've only recently started that, and if you look at from that angle, everything's just being started. It's just getting started. It's going to be like for me, like I really believe that India has only started, like it hasn't even stood up. It's just like, it's like 6 a.m. The alarm clock rang, and India has just opened its eyes up till now. That's the situation, I believe.
So you are really betting big on India.
Obviously, I mean, like, if I didn't believe in here, why would I be here?
Yeah, that's fair.
Forget what I told you, forget all about that tonight. Just remember the flame, you remember the flame, alright. Forget what I told you, forget all about that tonight. Just remember the flame, you remember the flame, alright.